objective that you want to achieve, which is to make this Ramadan the best Ramadan, the most successful Ramadan, the greatest Ramadan ever, by doing more deeds for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want also to share with you a beautiful dhikr that helps you to do more ibadah. Sometimes you find it difficult to do your ibadah. Like some people may be concerned about fasting. Come Tuesday morning, you have to fast and you're scared of fasting and so on. Some people are wondering why or how they can do all of these things in Ramadan. And there's a special ayah in the Quran that you can recite. And among the khawas, the spiritual characteristics of this ayah is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easier for you to do your ibadah. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم, from Surah Al-Hashr, in those beautiful ayat at the end of the surah, inshallah, to recite that as often as you can. And you'll see that, inshallah, you would be able to do more and more in this month of Ramadan and manage your time well. Get rid of the time wasters, the distractions, and so on. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he told the Sahabas in this hadith, Aqila nas azhada nas. The most intelligent person is, the Prophet said. Now, who would you think is the most intelligent person? Many people, when you ask them, they talk about the education of the person, how many university certificates they have, qualifications, and so on. The most intelligent person. But the Prophet didn't mention any of that. He says, Aqila nas azhada nas. Aqila nas azhada nas. The most intelligent person is the person of zuhud. And what zuhud means is that you live each moment in this dunya, in this world, for the hereafter. The Sahabas were like this. The Prophet told them that, they lived it. Anything they want to do, they would weigh that, the value of that thing. If it would benefit them in the hereafter, they do it. If it would not benefit them in the hereafter, they put it aside. They would not do it. So I want you to remember this mindset that you should have, the mindset of zuhud. The Prophet said, most intelligent person. And I want you to strive to become the most intelligent person. Aqila nas azhada nas. The most intelligent person, the person of zuhud. They renounce the things of the dunya, live for the hereafter. In other words, whatever is useful for the hereafter, they do it. Whatever is not, they don't do it. You're studying in university now, that's useful for you. You study, you qualify, you get a career, you can take care of yourself, take care of your family. So it's useful. So do it with that niyyah now. And it becomes an act of worship. All of that. And everything else now in Ramadan, you want to weigh it well. Should I do this? Should I not do it? If it would benefit me in the hereafter, I do it. If it would not benefit me in the hereafter, I put it aside. Maybe after Ramadan, I can go back to those things. But now, precious moments of Ramadan that we must share, inshallah. And so, Ramadan brings with it the great gifts that we have. We mentioned some of them, but there's so many more gifts of Ramadan. Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr is such a great gift of Ramadan. It's great in blessings, and 1,000 months. 1,000 months. And when you calculate that, one night, which is approximately 8 hours from Maghrib to Fajr, 8 hours, equal to 30. 1,000 months, 30,000 days in that way. 1 second in that time is equivalent to 25 hours of worship. A day or more than a day. And I'm saying equivalent just for illustration purposes, but in the ayah in the Quran, it is more than Laylatul Qadri khayrum min alfi shahrin. It's more than, better than, as 1,000 months. That's one night or one day, Laylatul Qadr. So the moments of Ramadan are precious. I want us to understand this. The great gift of Ramadan, this great guest that's coming to us, the greatest guest in the year, And it's a great success because it's bringing so many gifts for us. Spiritual gifts for us to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you in this month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this Ramadan the greatest, the best Ramadan for you ever in your life so far. Even with all the challenges now of the pandemic. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show us all the way that we can make this Ramadan the best Ramadan ever. And I finally, in conclusion, want to congratulate the MSA of Memorial University of Newfoundland for organizing this program and of all the wonderful work you're doing. I want to encourage you to continue to do so. I want to encourage the other students on campus to get involved in the MSA and work together as a group of Muslim students, work together, help one another so that the MSA can become active, more active and stronger. And then you can have some influence on other students on campus and the campus community, teachers, staff, and so on, that they can know about Ramadan. Let this Ramadan be an opportunity for you, that everyone can know about Ramadan and they can understand more about Ramadan, inshallah. And on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Shaykh Faisal, we have every day daily lectures of Ramadan. All our Ramadan programs are broadcast, suhoor, iftar, tarawih, tahajjud, every day. And in fact, throughout the day, 24/7, we'll start tomorrow night special broadcast for Ramadan, non-stop for the month of Ramadan on the YouTube channel. And then on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Shaykh Faisal, all the posts we have relating to Ramadan, all the dhikr and dua and so on that I've mentioned in this lecture today, and other things are there or will be there on the Facebook page for your benefit, inshallah. And there are two special Ramadan gifts that we have for you to make use of. These are two books that we have that's available on Amazon.com for your benefit. Blessings of Salawat. I talked something about Salawat briefly in the lecture earlier. The blessings of Salawat, and then the commentary on the Wirdul Am Dhikr, the foundational Dhikr, the general litany of the spiritual journey to Allah. Both of these books are available now on Amazon.com. You can search for them, Shaykh Faisal and Amazon.com, and you can get these special, beautiful Ramadan gifts. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at any time, and you can get our contact details from Sidi Mahmoud Al-Hassan and MSC on campus. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless each and every one of you and bless all of you with Jannatul Firdaus. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Wa sallallahu ta'ala ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in wa akhir da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much, Sheikh, for that amazing lecture, and Jazakallahu khairan. It was a very enlightening session. So we're now going to move on to the Q&A section, and we did have a few questions come in from the audience members. So we're going to start off with a question that came in from a revert, and he has written, how can a revert like myself make my first Ramadan easier? So could you please speak a bit to that, Sheikh?
Sidi Hussein, can you repeat that?
The question was, how can a revert like myself make my first Ramadan easier?
This is your first Ramadan, mashallah. Congratulations.
No, it's a question from the revert. It's the revert's first Ramadan.
Yes, I meant that. I meant that from the questioner. I think your first Ramadan, just take it in stride. Don't try to do too many things. There's a priority that we should have in Islam, which is the priority is fard, and then wajib, and then sunnah, and then nafil. This is a prioritization of actions, of good deeds. Any good thing we can do, it would fall in either one of these categories. So for someone who's new and it's the first Ramadan, the most important thing is the fasting of Ramadan. That's fard that we should do. You want to try to do that and to focus on being able to accomplish that task. And oftentimes it's mind over body. Sometimes people may feel if they haven't fasted before, they may feel it's so difficult. But my experience in dealing with so many people is that once you make your niyyah, your intention to do this good deed for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy for you. This happens. It's a real demonstration or display of mercy, of rahmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so you make your niyyah from now that you want to fast this month of Ramadan. And you make all the preparations, especially in terms of suhoor in the morning. I want to encourage all, not only the questioner, the revert, but everyone, students on campus, because this is sometimes students don't want to get up for suhoor. But I want to encourage you to do this. It would make your fast easier and you'll gain great blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one of the changes in Ramadan is that you try to maybe get to bed earlier if possible, so you can get up for suhoor before Fajr. The Prophet said, "Tasahharu fa inna fi suhoori baraka." Partake in suhoor. This is a pre-dawn meal to prepare to fast. For verily in suhoor there's many blessings, much blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the scholars have listed many great blessings of suhoor. So you want to do that. That would make your fast easier throughout the day. And then in the evening also at Maghrib time, you want to have your iftar, because that's the time when dua is accepted. So the fasting, that activity of Ramadan, takes on the special importance for you. You want to be focus on that so you can achieve it. Once you're able to do that, then you look at other things that you can do. And the one thing I would recommend is Quran, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the verses in the Quran about Ramadan and fasting, He describes Ramadan as the month of Quran. Shahru Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran. Yeah, Ramadan is the month of Quran. And so focus on the Quran. I'm not sure if you're able to read Arabic. If you can read Arabic, then you read the Arabic of the Quran, because the recitation of the Arabic, they're blessings. But what I would recommend you to do, and this is something, a project I've launched on the YouTube channel in our daily lectures, is a Quran project, which is for each one of you, and for the sister who's asking the question as well. I would like you to try to recite the entire Quran in this month of Ramadan. Once Ramadan starts tomorrow, you start from the beginning, Surah Al-Fatiha, chapter 1, then Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, and you use a bookmarker, put it where you stop on that day, next day you continue. If you can read Arabic, well. If you cannot, the translation, English for example, if English is your language, then you recite the translation of the Quran in English, and you'll be able to finish the entire Quran in the month of Ramadan. And this is a great achievement indeed, a great achievement. And the third thing I would mention in response to the question to make this Ramadan the best, it's the dhikr that I mentioned, all of which is contained in the two books I refer to. And then also on our YouTube channel and the Facebook page, and of course the other social media pages, Twitter, Instagram, and so on and so forth. It's all there for you to benefit from the dhikr. So you want to try to do some simple dhikr. Astaghfirullah, as I mentioned. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad, invoke blessings on the Prophet. Right? La ilaha illallah. Those simple things. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah. So these are the three things I want you to focus on. I recommend that you should do to make this Ramadan your best Ramadan ever. It's your first Ramadan, but make it spiritually fulfilling. A great Ramadan for you. You do these four things because you have other things to do. You have your studies, classes to attend, and so on and so forth. You have to do all of that. But the three things I recommend for you to prepare well for the fasting. That's the most important thing, because that's a fard in this month of Ramadan. And then your Quran project, to recite the entire Quran in in the language you understand, English or so. If you can do some Arabic, it's also good. And thirdly, the dhikr that we mentioned in our lecture, to recite that as much as you can. You do this, inshallah, you will enjoy this month of Ramadan tremendously. Ramadan is truly a special time for each and every Muslim. And I hope that answers the question.
Thank you so much, Sheikh, for that amazing answer. Our next question in the Q&A is, what is the significance of Taraweeh prayers in Ramadan and Qiyamul Layl prayers? And is it necessary to finish the entirety of the Quran in Taraweeh? So could you please?
Okay, so for Taraweeh, the Taraweeh Salah is a special ibadah and a unique ibadah for the month of Ramadan. Taraweeh Salah is only performed in Ramadan, not in the other month. There are different months that have their own Salah. For example, we mentioned during the time of Rajab of Salatul Raghaib, special Nafil Salah for Rajab. Then for the month of Sha'aban, now we talked at the beginning of the month in our daily lecture series, the special Salah is called Salatul Khair for the month of Sha'aban. And then for Ramadan, it is Salatul Taraweeh, special Salah for Taraweeh. This is a special Salah that is performed every night during the month of Ramadan. And it is done after you finish, you pray the Fard of Isha, and then you do 20 rakat of Salatul Taraweeh. It is not Fard, but it is highly recommended, and the blessings are great. For example, the Prophet ﷺ says, Man qama ma'al imam hatta yansarif kutiba lahu qiyamul layl. Afwan. If you pray with the imam from the beginning to the end, meaning from Salatul Isha, Taraweeh, Witr, you pray all of that with the imam until the imam concludes the prayer, then you are rewarded as if you spend the entire night in prayer. So you gain that great blessing just by praying your Taraweeh. You gain the blessings as if you do the entire night you spend in prayer. Then in another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ says, Man qama Ramadan imanan wa ihtisaban ghufir lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbik. That if you observe the Qiyam of Ramadan, which is Salatul Taraweeh, with faith and devotion and expectation of reward, you will have all your past sins forgiven. Another great gift of Ramadan, and specifically for Salatul Taraweeh. Salatul Taraweeh is the spiritual symbol of Ramadan. This is how we have Salatul Jum'ah, which is a spiritual symbol of the week, the weekly congregation Jum'ah. And you have Eid al-Fitr, the spiritual symbol of the feast after the fast of Ramadan in the month of Shawwal, and so on. Then for Ramadan now, the symbol, the spiritual, the sha'air, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran, the sha'air, the spiritual symbol, is Taraweeh in Ramadan. So it has special significance, and I highly recommend for you to do it. If it's possible, you can arrange your time. I would highly recommend that you do your Salatul Taraweeh. The second part of the question, is it essential to finish the entire Quran in Taraweeh? No, it is not. It is a beautiful sunnah of the Ummah to do. Like in all the main masjids throughout the world, they do that. Masjid al-Haram in Mecca, they complete the entire Quran in Ramadan. Masjid Nabawi in Medina, they do the same. Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem, the three main masjids of Islam, they do it. And so many other masjids throughout the world, they will do that. Here at Islamic Forum, we do this also, complete the entire Quran. We start at the beginning, like Monday night, we'll start Taraweeh, and then we finish it on the 27th night, Laylatul Qadr. It's a good sunnah, it's a beautiful sunnah of the Ummah, in that the Ummah has been doing this for 14 centuries, but it's not a requirement for the validity of Taraweeh. You can recite any surahs. And one popular practice in many parts of the Muslim world, especially where they don't have a hafiz of the Quran in their masjid, in their village or town or so, is that they will recite the last 10 verses, 10 surahs of the Quran, from Alam Tara Kaifa to the end of the Quran, and repeat that again to make 20 rakat of salah. So whatever you can do, you do, inshallah. Because I know students on campus, you may not have the time to go to the masjid for salah. You can pray at home, wherever you are, on campus with your friends and so on, if that's possible. Whatever is possible, you do that. And may Allah bless you. So I hope that answers the question about Taraweeh.
Yeah, that answers the question perfectly. So Jazakallah khair for that. Now the next question kind of ties into the first question, and you already touched on this a little bit. So the next question is, how can students make a routine during Ramadan because it's exam time? So what would you say to that?
Yes, your routine for Ramadan should be around the obligations that you are required to do. I mentioned fasting. So let's start your day with suhoor. This is from the great sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ that you should do. And it helps you with your fasting so that the fasting during the day doesn't become difficult. You have something to eat and drink and so on in the morning before Fajr. You make your niyyah to fast. You pray your Fajr. And then depending on what else you have, then you plan your day for campus now. You have to attend classes and do your studies and so on. You should focus on that, doing that for the day. If you have some time towards the end of the day or after Fajr also to recite some Quran, you can do this. For the Quran project, to try to finish the entire Quran by the end of the month of Ramadan. And so you'll have to do one juz every day in order to finish the 30 juz. But you can do this, inshallah, by spending that time. After Fajr, before Maghrib, you do. Then at Maghrib time, you would prepare to break your fast with iftar. You have your iftar. So you need to plan this time as part of your routine so that you're able to do that, to break your fast at that time. And so sometimes I know it's challenging on campus because you may have classes at that time. So you can take with you some water, bottled water, and some dates. And then it's good also to inform the professor that it's Ramadan, you're fasting, you may have to break your fast during that time. And you can do it in the class itself, drink some water, have some date. So they would know that you're not disrespecting them by eating in the class. So you should tell them before. Or if you have to step out of the lecture hall and break your fast, you do that quickly, inshallah. When the lecture finishes, you can do your Maghrib Salah. If you don't have classes at that time, you have more time to break your fast and to pray Maghrib. It's good to arrange it on campus because then that may be more convenient for you. And then after Maghrib Salah, you have your dinner. And then for the rest of the night, if you have any assignment and camp for classes and so on, you do that. And if you have time to pray Taraweeh, you do that. And then you do some dhikr and dua. The time of Ramadan is very useful for that you should try to do that as well. So try to focus on doing as many of these special acts of worship that you can do in a month of Ramadan. And in a way also you take care of your studies and your obligations for your classes, exams, assignments and so on. You can do all of that, inshallah, but then get rid of other things so you can spend more time reciting Quran and doing dhikr. It would help you quite a lot in this month of Ramadan. So that is a basic, simple routine I would recommend for you to write down and work with. And it's good to write it down. If you put it in writing, then you can see how it works the first day, second day, third day, and then you can adjust it to make it more practical for you. Sometimes maybe on weekends, Saturday and Sunday, you'll have more time so you can recite more Quran, more dhikr and dua, inshallah, that you can do that. And once you have that plan in place and you implement it, your Ramadan becomes more fulfilling, more fruitful for you. You enjoy it more and more, inshallah. This is the last question I would take today because I have to start the live stream broadcast on our YouTube channel. This is our daily program that we have. I would love to spend the rest of the night with all of you, but I have those other obligations as well. So this is my last question, and I want to thank all of you once again for giving me this opportunity to share these beautiful reflections on Ramadan, the special gift for believers. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you. Shukran.
Jazakallah khairan for that, Shaykh. We don't really have any more questions coming through the Q&A anyway, so, and we've already gone almost 30 minutes over time. So with that, this session comes to an end. Thank you so much for your time and for all the amazing lessons that you gave us. And just for the viewers, this year, the MSN Memorial University, we're organizing 5 times the full 5 times prayer, the Tarawih and Jummah prayers for brothers as well as sisters. We'll also be donating iftar hampers, and the posts for all of that and registration forms will be up tomorrow. So with that, once again, Jazakallahu khairan, Shaykh, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Ramadan Mubarak to all of you.